Hi, welcome to today's Leaders in Mental Wellness and Diabetes, where you will hear insights from the top minds in the world of diabetes care, hosted by Dr. Char.
Good morning, Julie. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good, and you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. It's very good to see you.
Very good to be here.
On this podcast today, I'm excited to get to know you a little better, and hopefully those that follow me will have one more person to put in their community. This diabetes world we're navigating, right? And you actually are navigating the world. So tell me a little bit about yourself in that process.
Sure. I'm Julie. I'm originally from France, but I've been living in the UK for, I think, almost 5 years now.
Uh-huh.
And in 2019, I founded a social impact business that is called the Diabetic Travelers Network. And our mission is to help people with diabetes to travel the world so they can go on their trip with ease and confidence without worrying about their diabetes. And the reason I've done that is really because I have myself traveled to 28 countries all around the world, and I've been living abroad, and I felt a need from the community for more support, for more knowledge about how to travel, and also for more connection with either healthcare in country, but also with other diabetic travelers.
Wow. Now tell me about your personal journey with diabetes that led you to helping others.
Sure. I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old, so quite young, and I kind of had diabetes my whole life. When I was starting to live with it, I think to me, I didn't want anyone to know that I had diabetes. So for many, many years, I was being very looking at my numbers, making sure they were all on track. So no one would know I had diabetes, because I was kind of scared to be discriminated and not be able to do what I really wanted to do. I always practiced sport. I was swimming competitively and all of this. But I think when I started wanting to travel in 2015 on my own to go to Australia for a 6 months internship there, I realized that hiding my diabetes for all this time wasn't very clever, because I had no diabetic friends. I had no idea what to do, and I was completely lost. So I had to do a lot of research. I asked my diabetologist at the time to know what to do and how to make it work. And I went. And that was the most amazing trip of my life. So I really don't regret that I took this step, but a lot of learning in the process.
Oh, that is so amazing. Sad in that just that short a time ago, we didn't have the support for you to travel and just click on Google and go on social media and find you, if you were. I noticed that your posts are simply strategies to help someone that is traveling, and I saw one about even the things to pack and how to get through the airports and those kind of things that we don't think about possibly if we've dealt with this for a while until we get there, because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm. No, that's exactly it. And that's what happened to me the first time I went to take the plane to Australia. I had planned everything. I was ready. And then I had ice pack. And at the airport, they took them from me because it was not now I'm using medical approved ice pack that are fine. They haven't been taken from me, but those ones that I had at the time was used. And I was panicked at the time because I didn't know, right? And I had nobody to talk to. And in the end, I still took the plane and I still went there and everything was fine. But it's those type of stress that when you travel with diabetes, you have. And so knowing that you have a support system and people that are here to either help you before, so you know what to expect, or during it, I think it's really rewarding, because you don't want to spend your holiday worrying about your diabetes. You want to have fun, you want to enjoy, you want to discover, and you don't want diabetes to stop you to do anything you want to do in life.
It's a mixed, of course, emotions are my biggie anyway, but it's a mixed emotional bag, because number one, you must focus on it, and it has to be a wonderful thing to have the uniqueness of you there to help you prepare even what to expect while you are traveling. But there is a huge focus on making sure you have everything you need, even with having you. On the other side, it's just as huge to decide, I am not defined by diabetes, and I am going to go on with life. I am going to go on and travel. I'm going to have this wonderful, amazing life. And so you've got both sides of that. How do you emotionally manage that so that others will understand how you can keep your focus and not make it your focus? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think for me, it's really a part of, accepting my diabetes and learning to live with. The more you know about it and the more you prepared and the more you plan, the less you're going to stress. Because traveling, especially if you're going far, if you're going alone or in remote places, for someone that doesn't have diabetes, it's already can be stressful. So I think the more you prepare in advance and the more you surround yourself with the right support system, and that's why the Diabetic Travelers Network really exists, then the less stress you're going to have. I would say, like, be gentle with yourself as well. That's why I tell people, because when you change environment, you change food, you change what you eat, you will see variation in your blood sugar. Like, it cannot be perfect. You can only do the best you can. And so it's not really worth it making this the main focus, just like relax a bit and have fun.
Oh, that was such a perfect answer. I think I heard you say the more you plan and prepare, which is that one side of it's always there. It's not like we can ignore it. The more you plan and prepare, and again, that's where you come in. You're the one of the unique only places we can go to Google and on social media and find 100 people doing the same thing. You are unique in that space. So if they can find you, and then we can use that preparing and planning that is so important for that focus. Then when we travel, the less it overtakes us, the less we have to do while we're supposed to be having fun. What a good answer to that. That's such a positive attitude and outlook on traveling with diabetes, because I don't care how much we say, I'm going to have fun and this diabetes is not going to rule me. If we don't prepare and plan, that's the key, right? If we don't prepare and plan, either our health will suffer, or it'll take our fun part to figure out all the nuances and all the things that's going on. So that is amazing. That right there is a good podcast in itself.
Thank you.
That is a great answer to people that want to travel, because after a year of pandemic and being closed in, people really want to get out there and go. And there's still, of course, those limitations. But what do you say to those that have other circumstances like we've been through, or other things that can come up while the regular travel encounters all the situations? What about when there's something unexpected? Is it just the preparation before as well, or what do you do for those things?
So when I work with people, we try to look at potential emergency that can happen where they go, because depending where you go, if you go to, you need to take into account where you're going, because, for example, but that's an extreme, but if you want to go to a remote country, it's very important to make sure that you know how to manage your diabetes on day to day, because if it's not okay day to day, it can be dangerous to go to a remote places where there is no hospital around, and like if something happened, then you're going to have a problem. But I think they're going to have when you travel, it doesn't happen as planned. So that's why preparation is important, because you know what to do in case something happened. And then if something actually happened that you haven't planned, you're going to be more aware and able to react. I mean, when I traveled to Colombia on my own, and I got sick there, and that wasn't planned at all. I didn't know what to do, and I had to manage it alone. But the fact that I knew where I was with my diabetes, and kind of I have taken medication with me and all of that, it really helped me to deal with it. Or like if you run out of insulin, or you forget your insulin somewhere in the hotel, and then you move somewhere else, that's kind of things that can happen to you when you travel. So knowing what to do in the situation is important.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, trusting yourself is so important, because when you travel, there is often things that you don't plan that can happen. And so trusting yourself that you're going to know what to do and having prepared enough in advance will help you move forward quicker.
So I interrupted by being so excited. I'm sorry. But when you say, sure, things happen, I get out of here and forget my dadgum insulin. Who does that? But yet things will happen. And if you get too far from home, that is really could be critical. But what you said was those are the things you address. Now, help me understand, is that in the coaching program? Is there a program that you just train people a certain way about traveling, or is there a coaching program on its own that just you follow weekly? How does that work?
So we offer an 8 weeks coaching program. It's totally tailored to the trip that the person wants to do. So if they tell me they want to go to South America, or if they tell me they want to go to France, for example, the outlook we're going to take on the trip is going to be different. So it's very tailored to their experience and the type of holiday they're going through. Because if you go to a 2 weeks hotel, all inclusive, is different than if you go backpacking all around South America, for example. So during those 8 weeks, we work through limited belief and blockage that come with diabetes, and we do a lot of work on fear and overcoming that. And also I help them to prepare their trip so they can have a fun experience abroad.
That is so good. That is so good. What's something that you could tell people listening other than just their travels? What could they learn to travel at home? I mean, when they're busy with kids and they've got 4 trips this week, they're just day trips. There's just regular routines. How could they benefit from traveling close by at home and not abroad? How could they learn from your program?
Definitely. So traveling is really powerful in terms of the way you open yourself to the world. And I think you can start getting out of your comfort zone and try new things with diabetes, close to home. You don't have to go abroad. You can travel and rediscover your city. There is a lot of things we can look at in terms of things you haven't done that people can do, or advice of, maybe a food kind of cultural food experiences or things like that people can experience close to home. But I think the idea with this program is really to help people see that their diagnosis doesn't prevent them to live a life of freedom, because a lot of people, when they have diabetes, and especially at the beginning, it's not easy to navigate, and it's easy to close the door and say, I'm scared, I'm not going to do that. But you don't have to go far the first time. Actually, I advise to go close, discover doing some day trips or even a weekend in the city next door, and learn and see how we affect diabetes, and then move forward like this.
And so your program could help them navigate that short trip or city nearby the same as it would help them make the experience for abroad as well. So anybody wanting to travel would benefit by your program.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
That's good. How are you growing your business? What is it that you do that our patients, mostly, a lot of us are, some are not, and just trying to build this, be a part of this community? What suggestions, what's something that you can tell them that's helpful?
In order to grow a business?
Yeah, how to grow the business within this community. There's a lot of people, they just sell the t-shirts. Some are patients that just want to help others. And so they do art, and we have different varieties of ways we want to help. I, of course, do talk therapy, and here I am on a dadgum computer that I know nothing about, trying to do what I have done for 30 years. So we all are in this world trying to make a difference. But for those that want to be in this community, how can someone that's built a successful business, how can you inform them or help them feel like, oh, this really enlightens me?
I would say, when building a business, the first thing is to consider it as a business. You need to look at it as a business and set up a strategy for it to grow, and definitely go online and leverage social media. I think now is more focus on bringing value to people by delivering reply to their needs. And by doing this, you grow your community, you talk to the right people. Yeah, I think this is what I want to say is like, see your business as a business, put a strategy in place and be very, very clear on who you want to help. Because it's very easy to want to help everyone, but by doing that, you'll see that you will not resonate with a lot of them because you cannot help everyone. And so the more focused you are on who is it actually that you help and what is the service that you are offering and how it helps those specific people, the more you're going to connect specifically with them. And that's the one that are going to be, you know, your fan or the people that are going to support your community the most.
Well, that is where, so it sounds like to me, you have this one side where people dealing with the disease and traveling can gain great insight from you. And then people that are trying to grow a business, could they fit in your coaching program as well?
So I have another business, which is not the Diabetic Travelers Network, but where I help women to set up their online business and work remotely.
Wonderful.
So they could apply for this coaching program, but that is not linked to the DTN, it's two different activities.
Okay, so tell me what the coaching name, where would they go find coaching for themselves in business, and where would they go find learning how as a patient to travel abroad?
Okay, so Traveling with Diabetes is the Diabetic Travelers Network. So they can find Diabetic Travel Network on Instagram and social media, or the website is diabetictravelersnetwork.com. And for everything coaching relating is Julie, kfr.com. That's my website.
All right. Say the last one again. I'm writing it down so everybody can have a time to get it. So it's Julie.
And then KFR.
KFR. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think those are amazing programs that can help a lot of people. And I think what you said about the coaching, it's to dial it in to the population that we want to help or that wants what we have that we can offer. And the other thing with the coaching is that we treat it like a business. If we learn to do that, because I operate from my heart, I want to help people just because it's my heart. But if you don't have a head for business in that, you can only help those that your heart reaches, right? But if you do it with a business, surely there's a strategy where we could expand that. Like for mine, I do face-to-face, one-on-one, small groups for 100 years. And now the possibility is endless that I could reach, the people that I could just mine in your conversation could have more than we could do before technology. It's kind of like having the monitors and having the pumps and having all the things that we have to check our blood sugar, just that alone, as opposed to me 48 years ago, I peed on a stick. Are you kidding me? That's the same thing with this business world. It feels like either we do it with technology and we go big, or we do it from our heart and help those we can. Is there anything wrong with either of those? Maybe not, but you shine a light so clearly to both of those. Why travel with anxiety when you have a network, a diabetes network that you can go get the help from? And why pee on a stick when there's all those monitors and everything available? It's the same difference with building the business. I love it. Thank you so very much for sharing that and for being there for everybody. What advice, let's do it two programs. What advice would you give someone who has never traveled abroad, has dealt with diabetes their whole life, or at least 10 years, and they decide today after listening to this, okay, I've stayed at home way too much because of my fear. What's one of the first pieces of advice you could give them? And the person that would like to expand their business and they want to reach out to you, what is something that you could say to both of those dealing with that? And it could be the same person with diabetes and traveling, and wanting to build a business. It could be the very same person, but two different perspectives.
Definitely. So I'll say to the person that, want to take a leap of faith and go for traveling, I would say like, congratulations for taking the step. And I will really advise them to prepare everything, give themselves time to prepare their trip properly so they can feel in control. Because when you feel in control, then fear tends to disappear. Often you get into fear because it's unknown, it's not under control, and you don't know what's going to happen. So by making a clear plan on what's going to happen and getting in the Diabetic Travelers Network community, talking and seeing people that have done it is already going to get rid of that fear.
That is amazing. It would be the same fear to move out of your comfort zone of building a business from your heart to your head, correct?
Yes, and I would say like what you say about the heart to me is so important in business, because if you're not passionate about it, then why even do it? Like the reason I do what I do is just because I love helping people. Like when I see someone that was scared and now is going on a trip and have the time of their life, I mean, it's so fulfilling and rewarding. And I believe we all have a gift inside of us, and we all have a passion or something we are great at. And if you're able to find that and give that to the world, then that's so amazing.
So good. So good. I really appreciate you being here today. Is there anything else you would like to add before we go?
No, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me. It was so lovely to be there and have the opportunity to talk to you.
Oh, it's an honor. It's such an honor. And I trust everybody. I'm going to be following. I already am. And I trust that everybody will do the same. Thank you so much. And we're going to meet again, young lady.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.